Look forward to talking.
Did you see how different the handshake is now? He gets into a much more natural position. His hand is still a little higher up than it probably should be, but now he's just giving this part of the hand. You know, he's just giving this front part of the hand, because then, you know, if you give this front part of the hand, there's not so much you can do really. Whereas if you have this, then you can go into this kind of almost twisting somebody's arm type of movement, an arm lock. But with this, there's less you can do. What are you going to do about this? You know, you just have the fingers. So he's just careful to just present the fingers. And I think there's a very important lesson we can learn from this. Because if you do these dominance moves, that's what happens, you know. People will start to not trust you that much. You know, the level of trust goes down. You may feel strong in the situation at first, but people remember this. And because it is a memory that's in the body, even if they don't know consciously why they don't trust you, subconsciously they feel, I got to be careful with this guy. I'm not going to give him my hand the way I used before. So I'm not going to go like fully in. I'm just going to give you a little bit. So that's what happens. So these dominance moves that Trump does, they do have an effect, and the effect is negative on the long run. He feels strong at the moment because he needs it. It's his thing, it's his personality thing. But it doesn't have the effect that it creates trust or a stronger relationship. Now, the Prime Minister is more careful. He just dips his fingers in, so to speak, rather than giving the whole hand or a full handshake.
Any comment on the Russian sanctions, Mr. President?
Now he ends up with a thumbs up again because he knows he's not committed too much. He still wants to give some positive, you know, feedback at the end. So the whole interaction is perceived as a positive one.
Sanctions, Mr. President?
What are you going to do about who's behind this, Mr. President? It looks like it. I spoke with the Prime Minister, and we are...
Now the Trump is asked. Now Trump is asked an uncomfortable question, and it's so uncomfortable that he goes totally into internal mode, and he withdraws himself, and presents some kind of automatic response. He doesn't really react. He never looks at the reporters. He's just talking on, and you can still see, you know, his whole attention is away from the Prime Minister, which, you know, given that there's a different question now, kind of makes sense, but he's still like in his own mode.
In deep discussions, a very sad situation. It certainly looks like the Russians were behind it.
Now he's facing the reporters for a brief moment because he's noticed he's not really interacting with them, so he said something that is, in his mind at least, positive, that is like acknowledging the situation, so he faces to them, but immediately withdraws his gaze into some empty space and is with himself again.
Something that should never ever happen,
but looking at them again, so he's kind of gathering his thoughts, and then he's looking to them, gathering his thoughts, looking to them again. That's the kind of moves he does.
as I think are many others.
And he gets this nod because he says, agree with me, agree with me. And now he's kind of, I've got it. So he makes this face as if he's eaten something really bitter. So there's this feeling of sadness. He's sad about the way the interaction went. He's not really comfortable with it, and he wants this to end right now.
And any more staff changes coming, sir?
Well, the story was very false. I mean, they wrote a story about staff changes today that was very false. We made a wonderful change, I think.
He uses his shoulder movement to shake off the weight that would be on his shoulders, the responsibility. So he goes like, it was very false. So he shakes it off. That's what this shoulder movement kind of implies. I'm shaking off the weight.
Mike Pompeo is going to be an incredible Secretary of State.
Now he turns to them and he kind of goes like, Mike Pompeo is going to be an incredible Secretary of State. He you know, looks at them for a short moment to impress that message, but then he withdraws back into himself.
We have some wonderful ideas. I've gotten to know a lot of people over the last year. You know, I've been to Washington.
He's got some wonderful ideas, and this hat movement, so how wonderful would they be? Well, for the most part, they're probably his ideas. I don't know. And he talks about a lot of people that he's getting with. Let's see how that goes.
Been for a little bit more than a year, where some people have been here for 30, 40 years. I've gotten to know great people. So there'll always be change, but...
So there'll always be change. So there'll always be change. There will be change, but I shake off the responsibility for it. There will be change, but I'm not responsible. It comes off my shoulders. But he says there will be change. So it's not going to be that stable.
Very little. It was a very false story. It was
Do you have
a very
confidence in
exaggerated,
sir?
a very exaggerated and false story.
It's a very exaggerated and false story. So get away with this. You know, he's not agreeing with himself in a way.
But there'll always be change, and I think
There'll always be change. So he always evades this kind of statement about change.
you want to see change, and
And you want to see change. He wants to see the change. He's nodding.
I want to also see different ideas. Larry Kudlow just came in a little while ago, and I think Larry is going to be outstanding as economic advisor, so we look forward to it.
He's going to be outstanding. He talks in a monotone way about somebody who's going to be outstanding. By the way, outstanding is a word he uses a lot. That's interesting. But he doesn't use it with a physical backup to it.
But we'll talk to you about it later. Thank you very much, everyone.
I'll talk to you about it later. Thank you very much. The conversation is over. He's not looking at them. He's not, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The conversation's over.
Everybody, thank you.
everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
And then at the end there's a short confrontation. He looks at everybody and goes like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And back to himself with this defensive move again.
Have you always been truthful with Prime Minister?
And it's still shaking a little bit, so he feels like, yeah, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do? Am I going to open up? You know, like, now I'm going to, like, happy? No, I need to stay protected. They're still coming with questions.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.
And now it's getting more aggressive. Thank you very much. I don't want to answer any questions.
Thanks, everyone.
Might you come to Ireland next year, Mr. President?
It could happen.
Yeah, before the election.
So, again, the question about a next trip. It could happen. It can happen. He was being asked about coming back, and he said, that's possible. That could happen. It could happen. Doesn't mean it will happen. You know, he's just kind of being evasive about it. Let's see what happens next, because it's going to be very interesting.
That could happen. If it's to the Irish American vote.
Thanks, everyone.
So they asked maybe before the next election it could help, and now he's smiling to himself. He's happy about himself. It could help. His presence, of course, will help, but the body language of the Prime Minister of Ireland is very different. He looks to himself, he smiles, he's not going to say anything, but he doesn't think it's going to help.
I look.
And, you know, while he replies, he shakes his head. No, it's not going to help. But he tries to be friendly.
Forward to being there.
Thanks, everyone.
Great country. I guess I have.
And you can see he smiles, but his smile isn't really very congruent. He kind of smiles with his face, but he doesn't smile with his eyes. His eyes are like down there.
President, will you go to the border? Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Go to the border.
Thank you.
Will you reconsider the steel tariffs, President?
Okay, that's been it. I think that was very, very interesting. There were a lot of situations where you could see how the interactions between those two people went. We can see the interaction of Trump and where he did not feel comfortable, this kind of thing. We also saw how his body language and his actions and his statements affected the Prime Minister of Ireland. And that's very, very important to understand in any form of business negotiations, or in a therapy setting, or in a coaching setting, or in any private situation where you just want to talk with friends, how what you do and what you say and your body language affects them and how they are feeling inside, so you can have the best possible reaction and the best possible interaction and the most positive effect and influence on them and on the situation in general. It's very important to be aware of these minute and sometimes quite obvious influences. And we're planning to do quite a series of videos on body languages, so this is like the starting video on this. We're going to do a series where we will systematically explain the factors that we use to understand body language. And we will also do some more videos about famous people and famous conversations. And if you see a video in a news show or in a talk show where you see, hey, that's some interesting body language going on there, please let us know about it. Maybe make a post on the comment, and if it's on YouTube somewhere, please post a link. Now, don't post links to other things like, you know, interviews or shows or something. This is not to promote other websites or something. Please only use it to inform us about videos that you have seen of, like a news channel or something that has something interesting. And if you would like us to comment on the body language there, especially let us know what it is about this interaction you're specifically interested, so we can make sure to cover that aspect. If you want to know more about body language, about communication, about the use of both the language of our body but also the language that we use verbally, language patterns and positive influence, hypnotic influence, and all these topics, also self-improvement, stay tuned to this channel. If you want to stay tuned with more upcoming videos, please subscribe to the channel and give us a like button, and let us know in the comments what you think about this interaction between Trump and the Prime Minister of Ireland. Thank you very much for watching this video, and looking forward to see you again in the next video.